it. Just let me explain.
Jenny, we are not going to talk about it anymore.
Well, how can I convince you that you're wrong about Rod and me? It was all so perfectly innocent.
I said no more. Unless, of course, you want to talk about divorce. You want to talk about divorce, Jenny?
Está bien, Carlos. You learn fast.
Then fix it so I can stay. Hey, look, you've got to help me out on this, Esteban. The cops will never look for me here.
My sister, if she was alive today to see all the trouble you still get into.
Look, just talk to Harrison, okay? Ask him to give me a job. He'll listen to you.
Mira, Carlos, it's much better for you to go to the police and tell them everything.
Uncle, I told you last night the cops will lock me up first. Then they got all the time in the world to listen. My time.
But if you did not steal a car, you should have no trouble clearing yourself.
You don't understand.
Go. Finish trimming those trees. We'll talk later.
All right. But don't forget.
Buenos días, Señor Harrison. ¿Cómo está?
Buenos días, Esteban.
Señor Harrison, I should like to talk to you about my nephew, Carlos.
What?
The boy needs to find work.
No, not now, Esteban.
I gotta talk to you. Kersey. Well, looks like you've learned my habits pretty well. What time I take my morning ride? What nights I go to the club and leave my wife home alone?
You're wrong about Jenny and me, Lyle. Last night was... It's not what you think. Believe me,
I told you, you're fired. Now get off my property. And if you set foot on here one more time, I'm gonna call the police.
Can't kick me out like this, Lyle. It'll ruin me. You gotta give me another chance.
Kersey, let me by!
Can't do this to me!
Kersey!
Can't go with this, Lyle!
Let go of me!
Can't do this to me! Not after all the time I put in with you!
I'm Barnaby Jones. Mrs. Harrison knows about me.
Jones, from the insurance company. Sure, come on in. Thank you. My name is Kersey. I'm vice president of Maplewood Enterprises. The boss's death has been quite a shock to Jenny, Mrs. Harrison.
Yes, I can imagine.
I'd like to spare her as much as possible. She's been under a terrific strain with the funeral and all. So if you could keep it brief, I'd appreciate it.
Sure.
Who is it, Rod?
This is the insurance investigator from California Meridian. Mr. Jones, Mrs. Harrison.
Mr. Jones?
Ms. Harrison, I'm sorry to bother you at a time like this.
Well, I don't know how I can help you, Mr. Jones. I've told the police everything I know.
Well, there are just a few questions concerning the insurance claim. Did your husband ride often?
Almost every morning. Lyle loved riding.
But this is the first time he was thrown.
At least since I've known him. We'd been married 3 years.
According to the police report, there are no witnesses to the accident.
That's correct.
Your stableman, Esteban, found the body.
Yes, he came running to the house to tell me. Oh, it was awful.
You said just a few questions, Mr. Jones.
Yes, that'll be all for now. I would like to speak with Esteban.
Of course, he's through that door. There's a path that will lead to the stables.
Thank you.
The police, reporters, and now a private investigator. When is all this going to stop?
Ginny, look. I told you not to worry about it. Insurance companies are always very careful, especially when double indemnity is involved. I promise you, when Mr. Jones is through, I will be the only one left to bother you.
But all these lies. Wouldn't it have just been simpler to have told the truth?
Then I'd have to explain why we argued, why he attacked me. You'd have been dragged into it. There'd be a bunch of questions about that night and all the other nights. The newspapers and probably some ambitious district attorney would have had a field day making something sinister out of it. Believe me, it's better just the way it is.
Bravo.
Carlos! Oh, Carlos. Oh, you had me so worried. I told you the police would believe you, that they wouldn't put you in jail.
I didn't go to the police.
But you promised.
I know, but I needed time to think. Come on. Anyway, something else has come up, and I might be in a little more trouble.
Oh, no.
I want you to come away with me.
Where?
Fresno. Andy Montes runs a car wash up there. He said he'd give me a job.
Is that why you work so hard to finish school? To wash cars?
Hey, you're my girl, right?
Yes.
Well, then come with me.
Carlos, what have you done?
There's a man dead. It's my fault.
What?
The owner of the place where my Uncle Esteban works, Harrison, he fell from his horse and died.
But what does this have to do with you?
I saddled the horse. I wanted to show Esteban I could help him if he arranged for me to stay there a while. The cinch came loose. Harrison was thrown.
Oh, no. But it was an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just like it was an accident, I was with that guy who didn't tell me he stole the car. Too many accidents.
Did Esteban tell the police it was you?
No. But there was somebody else. There was this guy who found Harrison's body, and I think he may have seen me.
Well, there's got to be some way else out of this besides running.
I'm not going to jail.
I don't want you to. But I also don't want us to live a life always afraid.
Does that mean no?
Oh, Carlos, Carlos. Maybe if you go to the police and you tell them what happened. Carlos!
Senor Harrington ride every morning for maybe half hour. But that morning when Bright Star came back to the stables without him, that's when I looked for him. Find him here in the creek bed.
Here?
Yes, senor.
You told the police that you didn't find anything on the trail that might have caused the horse to stumble?
Yes, senor.
And when he came in, his saddle was intact. There was no loose cinch, no broken stirrup leathers.
Nothing wrong, senor.
May I?
Yes.
Nothing that would have made Mr. Harrison fall off. Is that right?
Yes, senor.
Anyone else live here on the place beside the Harrisons?
Juanita, the maid, Roberto, who takes care of the grounds, and me.
And they were all here on the day of the accident?
Yes, except Roberto. He went home last month to visit with his sick mother in Guadalajara.
He responds very well.
He is a good horse.
Usually when you wave something like that in front of a horse's eye, he'll shy away from it.
Eye's not very good. He's old, like me.
Well, that is a puzzlement.
Eh, senor?
Well, there was nothing on the trail for him to stumble over. I naturally assumed that he must have seen something that caused him to spook. But now, since he doesn't see too well, that's out, isn't it? Did you tell me that your groundskeeper, Roberto, had been away for a month?
Yes.
Well, this looks like it's been cut within the last day and a half. Who did it?
It was I, senor. I cut them.
How'd you get up there with your leg?
My leg, it's not bad.
Esteban, you're covering up for someone, aren't you? Someone who was here.
No, senor, it was accident, truly.
Why don't you tell me who you're covering up for?
Carlos Rojas, my nephew. He was cutting the tree. When he came back to the stables with Bright Star, all he would say is that there is an accident. Then he ran away.
Why did he run away?
The poor boy's frightened because he has trouble with the police. They say he stole a car.
I'm going to have to talk to Carlos. Where'll I find him?
He has an apartment, but I don't think he'd go there.
What about his friends?
He has a girl, Maria Cabrera. She works at Mexican Village Restaurant. She might know.
Esteban, Mrs. Harrison wants you.
Si, senor.
Well, Mr. Jones, Bright Star solving the accident for you?
Too bad horses don't talk, but I think I may have found someone who talked for him.
What do you mean by that?
There was somebody working on this tree just about the time that Mr. Harrison died. Good chance he may have seen the whole thing.
No coffee, thank you. Now, I understand how you feel, Maria.
But I don't know what to do, Father. Carlos and I have been going together since we were 13 years old. Is that possible?
Anything is possible when you're children. Being in love is easy and uncomplicated.
But I don't know if I love Carlos, Father. If I was truly in love with Carlos, wouldn't I go away with him like he wants me to?
Well, that's what happens when you grow up and become a responsible person. You no longer have those easy choices like when you're a child.
You've got to help Carlos, Father. Go to him. Make him understand what he must do.
All right, Maria, but I have to find him first.
Do you think he's gone away already?
Without you, no, I don't think so.
Hi, I'm looking for Maria Cabrera.
I'm Maria.
My name is Barnaby Jones. I'm a private investigator. I hate to intrude, but could you spare me a moment of your time?
Investigator?
I'm Father Sean Williams. What's this about?
I'm looking for a young man named Carlos Rojas. There was an accident, a riding accident on the ranch where he was working. I just want to ask him a few questions about it.
Well, I don't know where he is right now. Father, I have to prepare for the show tonight.
Miss Cabrera?
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to be going too, Mr. Jones.
Would you know where I might be able to find Carlos?
No.
You don't know where he hangs out or anything like that?
Oh, sure. The streets, pool halls, back alleys. Barrio is just one big playground. Have a good day, Mr. Jones.
Father, a man died. Carlos may be able to tell me how or why.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I figure one way to find out, is to ask him.
Look, Mr. Jones, I've got 10 street gangs in my parish. Now, you start going around asking questions of the wrong people, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. Barrio doesn't take well to strangers.
Well, I guess I'll just have to make some friends.
Mr. Jones, maybe we'd do better looking for trouble together.
You know, that thought crossed my mind.
Mind riding in a van?
Lead on.
Bauman, when I called an emergency meeting of the board of directors, I am speaking with the authority of Mrs. Harrison. In other words, as far as Maplewood Enterprises is concerned, I'm calling the shots. So when you have something I want to hear, call me back. Esteban, what did you tell the detective?
The detective?
Barnaby Jones. You told him there might be a witness to Mr. Harrison's accident. Who was it?
Somebody saw the accident?
Ginny, I thought you had a probate meeting with the lawyers.
Well, I was just leaving. Who was it, Esteban?
Ginny, that's all right. I'm taking care of it. Don't worry about it.
Esteban?
My nephew, Carlos Rojas. He was here that day trimming some trees.
And he saw the fight?
What fight?
What did Carlos see, Esteban?
I do not know. Only that he come to tell me Senor Harrison is dead. Then he ran away.
Why did he run away?
Carlos already had trouble with the police over something else.
Where does Carlos live?
An apartment in a court, Morel and Bodega Drive.
Okay, Esteban, you can go.
Carlos is a good boy. You must understand.
I said you can go.
Do you think... Do you think Carlos saw you with Lyle?
It's possible.
I'm worried, Rod.
Please, don't be worried.
But if Carlos did see you there, don't you think that you should go to the police and tell them before he does?
Carlos was going to go to the police. I'm sure he would have gone to the police by now.
What are you looking for?
Looking for Lyle's watch.
What do you want that for?
Just in case Mr. Jones gets to Carlos and makes him talk. I think it might be a good idea if the police found this on Carlos first. It'll make anything he has to say sound like a lie after that.
It wasn't an accident, was it, Rod? You killed Lyle.
No, oh, Jenny.
You did,
Well,
didn't you?
he didn't start out that way. He made a lot of threats, and then when he fell from the horse,
So?
well, I did it for us.
For us? Oh, my God.
Look, it's happened. It's something we can't change. I want you to understand that. And if I don't try to keep a lid on Carlos, everything is going to blow up in our face. Please try to understand that, Ginny.
You know what my wish I started to tell you this morning was? I wish I had met you first. Then all this wouldn't have happened.
Ginny. You just keep right on loving me. You're here. Everything's going to work out fine.
$8. Hey, that's all I got till Friday.
Well, so what? You get it back as soon as Ruben sells the stereo. What fish is that? You need proof? You got it. Look in here. See the receipt? I paid the whole thing out, $185.
I bring 75 easy.
All right, don't do me favors. Mario, what you got for me? Huh? Oh, yeah, Bato, you sculpted. That looks good now. I need the money. Come across.
Hey, why don't you take it to the pawn shop yourself, Because he's hot, dummy. You can't show his face. Come on, give him some bread.
Well, all I got is 20, man.
Well, don't go to your way, man.
Ahí está, 20 bolas.
Ernie?
Nothing for you.
Well, in broad daylight, the barrio seems calm, huh? Not always the way it is.
This the place?
It's one of them. The gang that hangs around with Carlos, well, they might be a little edgy. Two of them got wounded in a rumble last week.
Padre, ¿podría hablar con usted un momentito? ¿Me permite? ¿Cómo ha
Sí,
estado?
claro.
Mucho gusto.
I'll be here in a minute, okay? Sure.
¿Sabe qué? Quería decirle. Por favor, venga a la casa.
Hey, ahí viene la placa. No,
Aguas.
let's play 8-ball.
Armando, where'd you put that 2-ball at?
Aquí, hombre. Hey, loco, you're shooting pool like you're shooting up,
Gringo, you lost? The border. She's that way.
I'm looking for Carlos Rojas. Anybody here who might be able to tell me where I could find him?
Private cop, huh? Same difference.
Hey, this is a peaceful part of town until strangers start crossing the line, ¿verdad?
That's right. Sometimes they bring trouble. Want to rip us off. Want to use us for target practice.
No trouble, just a few questions.
A couple of 20s might loosen us up a little.
I have a feeling that if I gave you the money, you might still have a memory lapse. Why don't you put that away, son, before you do something that you all might regret?
Ernie.
Cálmate. Cálmate.
¿Conoces el hombre, padre?
See, he's a friend of mine. Now put that thing away. Now. Anybody here seen Carlos? Ruben?
Not much help here.
Okay. See you in church, huh?
Tell him I want to talk to him. You can call me anytime.
Carlos. Here, no, man. Go on, keep it. ¿Quién sabes?
Yes.
Hey, loco. The private dick was packing, I said. He would have shot a hole right through your enchilada.
I only got $57.
Hey, that's not gonna get you and Maria very far.
You didn't put up yet, Ernie. What you got for me?
Nothing, I told you. And you're not taking my sister either. You're nothing but big trouble, man.
That's none of your business, Ese.
You stay away from Maria. Come on, huh? All right, let him go. Get out of here. Come on, split!
Carlos. Hey, look, man, I'm not mad anymore. We gotta talk. Come on, Carlos, open up. Hey, who are you? What are you doing here?
Barnaby, what brings you to this side of town?
I left word for Mr. Jones to meet us here, Lieutenant, when I was called to give the last rites. Ernie Cabeda, Maria's brother.
What happened?
They think Carlos did it.
Any witnesses?
Yeah, a neighbor next door saw Cabrera kick in the door after calling Carlos' name. He came in and got shot.
Did the neighbor actually see Carlos?
Well, no, Carlos had left through the bathroom window. So what's your interest here, Barnaby?
I'm checking out the Lyle Harrison accident. It seems that Carlos was over there that day. He may have seen something.
Lyle Harrison. That could explain this.
Lyle. Oh, my love, Ginny. You find that here?
Yeah, in a dresser drawer.
Yes. Yes, I recognize it. It's, a present I gave to Lal on our first wedding anniversary. Where did you find it?
In an apartment rented by a Carlos Rojas. You know the name?
Jenny, look at this. Sorry I took so long getting here, gentlemen.
Lieutenant Biddle, this is my late husband's associate, Rod Kersey.
Lieutenant?
How do you do?
I heard you talking about Carlos Rojas. That's Esteban's nephew, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Do you know Carlos?
No, not personally.
But Esteban told us that Carlos was here the day of the accident. What is this all about?
This is Harrison's watch.
Where'd you get that?
We found it in Rojas' apartment, along with the body of a murdered young man.
Somebody was murdered?
A friend of Carlos. Now, the killing and the watch may be totally unrelated, but considering where we found it, there now is some possibility that your late husband's accident was not really an accident.
Are you saying that Carlos might have killed Lyle for his watch?
That does wrap up like a neat little package, doesn't it? They're expecting me to call in. May I use your phone?
Sure, it's right
May
there.
I see that again?
Okay.
Seems a little too neat.
What?
This watch. I'm wondering why you didn't report it missing.
I don't know.
Just an oversight, Mr. Jones. We've been under a tremendous strain with Lyle's death. I'm sure you can understand that.
I most certainly do understand it. How much did this watch cost?
$1,200, I'm told.
Seems strange that somebody on the run would let an expensive item like this lie around. I don't see why he didn't hawk it or sell it.
It's a good question. You'll have to ask Carlos about that when the police catch up with him.
Barnaby?
Yes, Lieutenant. Oh, Mr. Kersey, allow me to congratulate you on becoming president of the company.
Well, it's a company secret. How did you find that out?
Well, you know, office gossip, especially about secrets.
Is murdering that friend of Carlos part of it? This perfect setup of yours?
He burst in the door. He came at me with a knife. I couldn't help it. It was self-defense.
Another accident? Is that it?
I told you before, Jenny, I did what I did for us. For both of us.
For us? You killed 2 people. Did this for both of us?
Look. Take it easy. We're both a little tired. As soon as I take care of Carlos, that'll be the end of it.
Get out. If I ever see you again, I'll just...
Wait a minute. If you think you're gonna bail out now, just because things are getting a little too dirty for you, I want you to remember one thing. You're an accessory to everything that's happened here. You just remember that. If the axe is gonna fall, it's gonna fall on both of us.
Maria, I'm sorry.
Just go away and leave me alone.
Ernie was just trying to protect me like a brother should. You could have talked to him. You could have reasoned with him.
What are you talking about?
You didn't have to kill him. You didn't have to.
Wait a minute. You think I killed your brother? I only just heard about it about half an hour ago. Hey, what's happening?
Father, don't do it.
This is none of your business, Ruben.
Hey, you guys are out of your straws.
Enough bloodshed, Ruben. Stay out of this.
Don't be crazy. Let the police handle it.
Stay out of this, Padre, and don't turn the cops onto us. I'm warning you. Let's go.
Call Barnaby Jones right away. Have him meet me at the freight dock on Mason Street. Hurry up!
Strange. Of all the species, man is unique. You'd think we could do better.
Carlos's arrest record?
Father dead. Mother on welfare. Dropped out of school. Ever since he's been a teenager, he's been a member of a gang.
Wonder why they do that. Join gang.
Security, identity, some mistaken romantic notion about machismo.
All that violence. I don't know, it just seems like so much waste.
Father Williams says that violence becomes a kind of a contest. Whoever builds up the best record of muscle and moxie becomes sort of a hero in the barrio.
It's like a hopeless treadmill to nowhere.
Carlos has one thing going for him.
What's that?
He's in love.
Maria?
Yes, and when someone of Carlos's character gets married and has kids, he takes an entirely different view of gang life.
Barnaby Jones' office, may I help you? Maria Cabrera.
Maria? Where is he? I'll be right there.
Trouble?
Maria says the gang has Carlos. She's afraid they're going to kill him. Where's Carlos?
I thought the gang would bring him here. They use this place as a hideout sometimes, but I don't see their car.
Let's try around the side.
Come on, man. Come on. You don't want to cook with your eyes closed, do you?
Get it over with.
I keep on telling you, I just found out about Ernie. I was just walking down the street and him on the...
Lie!
Lie!
No.
Hey, Ernie didn't want you to skip town with his sister. No. So when he came looking for you at your pad, you took him out.
With my gun.
No, you gotta believe me. I slept in the park all night.
No.
Wait, I hear something.
Get him!
That's it. Come on.
Ahora sí. Now let him go.
Hold it!
Take it easy with that thing, son.
Hey, yeah, they don't believe me. I didn't kill Ernie.
Mario, get his gun.
Ruben, put that gun down.
Go back to your church, Padre.
This is my church, right here.
You take one more step and it'll also be your grave.
You're awful quick at setting up tombstones.
Get him out of here, Padre. This is none of his business.
I think it's none of your business. It's a matter for the courts to decide.
There's court justice and there's street justice. If we waited for the courts to do their jobs, we'd all be dead.
Sounds like this court's already made a decision. What do you base your evidence on?
On this, and what I know in here, in this. You shot him with my own piece.
That's a 22, isn't it?
Get him out of here.
Ernie was killed with a 38.
A 38?
Yeah, he couldn't have killed him with that gun.
It's a trick. Don't you see what he's trying to pull?
That's not a trick. I can prove it.
How? Yes, how?
All I need is a telephone.
You biddle.
Lieutenant, this is Barnaby. I need a favor from you.
Yeah, what is it, Barnaby?
I wonder if you would tell me again what caliber pistol it was that killed Ernie Cabrera.
It's the first time I've known you to have a memory problem.
I just want to be sure.
It was 38. Is everything all right?
It is now. Thanks.
Hey, so what happened? It was a 38. This detective was right.
I believe that's mine.
Ruben?
Carlos knows how we feel about him.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Detective. If it wasn't Carlos in his pad, then who did ace Ernie?
Well, maybe Carlos can help us answer that question. That day out at the Harrisons, why did you run away?
It was me who saddled his horse. I already had a Grand Theft Auto rap hanging over me. I didn't want to wait around for questions.
Well, that doesn't explain why you ran away. You couldn't have been worried about Esteban knowing. It must have been someone else who saw you, is that it?
Yeah, but I'm not sure he saw me.
Who was it?
I don't know, some guy who got to the body first. He was checking out Harrison's pulse.
Could you describe him?
I ducked away pretty fast, but I'm sure if I saw him again, I'd be able to tell him.
How's the boy? It's his shoulder. He's all right.
Call Lieutenant Biddle and an ambulance.
Come on, we'll go out the back way.
Here, hey, Mario. Stay with Carlos, huh?
Sorry.
End of the line, Kersey. I think we'll let the real court handle this one. Está bien?
Está bien.
Bueno.
According to Lieutenant Biddle, Jenny Harrison is doing a lot of talking that Kersey hadn't figured on.
The lieutenant also told me about the stolen car. They checked the fingerprints. Why didn't you tell me it was my brother who stole the car and not you?
Ernie's gone now. It don't matter.
The code of silence. You see how it almost ruined both of your lives?
I guess it all turned out for the best thanks to Mr. Jones here.
Thanks to the Padre here.
Thanks to the Padre there, huh?
What about the boss of your old gambling operations, Freddie the Horse?
That was Jim Redmond, too.
Redmond personally killed Freddie?
With an ice pick. And he buried him at the Carpel Off Ranch, Route 395.
That's how he took over the Samovar Casino.
He kept muscling in until he took over the whole operation. Everything that I spent a lifetime to build.
Using the Samovar as a power base.
Never would have made it so big if he hadn't killed my son first. When I retired from the rackets, I left everything to my son. Now he's dead. That's why I want you to write in your book everything just the way I tell you. That way Redmond will be dead, too.
One more session tomorrow, and we'll just about have it ready for the publisher.
Gideon, I don't have too many more tomorrows. I've told you everything I know about the mob. How
What is it?
Did you ever see those guys before?
The Gardeners? Never paid much attention.
Check them out, please, huh? I'll be inside.
Afternoon. Hi. I don't remember seeing you fellas around here before.
Oh, Johnny's sick, and he asked us to take the route over today.
Tell you what, why don't you just pack it in? We'll let it go till Johnny gets back, okay?
Yeah, all right.
Thanks a lot.
Well, what about him?
The regular gardener's sick, so they were taking his place.
Strange faces around here. My people in town not back yet. I don't like it.
That's what I figured. So for your peace of mind, I sent them away. Look, outside of your three friends, nobody knows where to find us. Why don't you relax? Have a drink.
Hey, we made a deal. You don't touch liquor till 5 o'clock.
Somewhere in this world, it's gotta be 5 o'clock.
Sure there's no one else around here?
I'm sure. You don't think Sam would put us on a bump steer or anything like this, do you?
Hey, here it is. The whole book. Good. Okay, let's get out of here.
Okay?
Come on.
All right. But I hit him twice. Well, he's got to be around here somewhere. Come on. Hold it. Looks like he got out this way. Well, if he did, he's long gone by now.
Not if he's wounded. You saw it twice. I put 2 slugs into him.
Hey, wait a minute. There's no blood.
Your father was kind enough to mention my name in the acknowledgments in his book. I once gave him a little help on investigative procedures.
Dad spoke of you often, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, Walter and I go back a long way.
Then you'll help me find him?
Well, sure, Monica, if there's any need to. I think you ought to know that your father was pretty good at getting himself lost and coming home when he felt like it.
I don't think that he's disappeared intentionally, not this time. I think something has happened to him.
Are you sure you're not letting your imagination run away with you?
The day before yesterday was my birthday, my 21st. Dad made a big deal about taking me out to dinner. He even called me twice during the week to make sure I didn't have other plans, and then he didn't show up.
Not showing up, that came to be your father's middle name.
He wouldn't do that to me. I'm sorry, but Dad wouldn't miss my 21st birthday. He's never missed any of them. One time he flew in from Kenya, another time from Vietnam.
Could he be working on a book that perhaps took him out of the country again?
He is not out of the country. He couldn't travel without his passport, could he?
Now, take it easy, Monica. How do you happen to have this?
I found it in Dad's apartment this morning.
His clothes and luggage are still there?
The only thing missing is his typewriter.
Have you tried the Sandhaven Sanitarium?
Yes, and every other drunk tank from here to San Francisco. He's not in any of the hospitals, or the jails either.
Do you have any idea what the new book is about?
No. I thought about that, too. So I called his agent, and he doesn't seem to have any idea either.
Does he still have the same agent, Proctor, is that it?
Yes, Don Proctor.
Why don't you go home and get some rest, and I'll let you know the minute I have anything, okay?
Okay.
That's right, Victor. My information was that Al Felix left Arizona about 5 months ago. Been right here in L.A. all that time with nobody knowing about it. Yeah. I sent a couple of my boys out to see him. Figured we might arrange to have a friendly meeting, you know. But he gave him the slip. So there's no word of him showing up your way, huh? Well, I'm just kind of anxious to straighten things out between us. All right, thanks, Victor. Listen, if you do happen to hear anything, I'd appreciate it if you or one of your people gives me a call. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. San Francisco doesn't know where he is either.
We had him right here, and you blew it.
Well, like I told you, Mr. Redmond, I couldn't miss at that range. And besides, Mr. Redmond, I mean, what's the worry? You have the book? That's right. Felix wants to publish it. He'll have to start from scratch, and it'll take months.
Months, huh? Eddie, give me the book. What do you see?
A lot of typing.
Look on page 33 of 41. Those are carbon pages. Gideon must have made a carbon when he typed.
Oh, we didn't find one.
That's right. Which means that Felix must have it. So months we don't have. That book was almost finished. If Felix ever gets that book to a publisher, names, dates, deals, and where the bodies are buried. You understand?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I finally got your attention, gentlemen. Because it's not just me. If Felix ever gets that book to a publisher, we all go down.
All right. We'll put a price on Felix's whereabouts, and somebody's got to know. What about Sam? Hey, that's right. Sam found him the first time, and I'll bet you in a couple of days Sam will tip us again.
We can't wait for Sam. The boys in Chicago tell me that Stan Lewis is still around L.A. You remember him?
Stan Lewis. Yeah. He and Al Felix were pretty close at one time.
That's right. Find him. If anyone knows where Felix is holed up now, it'll be Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm afraid Walter didn't let me know what he was working on. Just that it was the hottest thing he'd ever written and would probably make $1 million.
Did he say where he was working?
No, he said it was too dangerous for anyone to know. Even me, his own agent.
Sounds like he might be working on another of his exposés.
Yeah, that's my guess. But what? Where?
Where brings up an interesting problem. Wasn't his apartment. His typewriter is missing. His landlord said he hadn't been in there much for the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, it's a mystery to me. Sit down, please.
I couldn't even find any of his old bills or receipts. Does he have a business manager who takes care of those things?
Yeah, Herb Arnold in our accounting department. What good would his paid-up bills do you?
Well, they can tell you a lot about a person. It's kind of like running across a railroad track in the middle of nowhere. Follow the track one way, you know where the train has been. Follow it the other way, you know where the train's going.
I still don't follow.
Well, he used to drink a certain brand of whiskey. And then he was always taking medicine for migraine headaches. Now, it could be that he was having these things delivered to him where he was working.
Yes, of course. Please go down to Herb's office on the second floor, and I'll call him and tell him you're coming.
Thanks.
Hey, you're a little jumpy, aren't you, Carl?
Yeah, I guess so. Ever since the other day. It's a good thing you had that bulletproof thing on, or else I'd be putting flowers on your grave today.
Well, if you'd have been around, I wouldn't have needed this, eh?
Oh, you know I had to go to the dentist. I feel lousy about it, Al.
It's all right, Carl. By the way, how is the tooth?
I gotta go back. It's still killing me.
It almost killed me, too.
Look, Al, I feel lousy about it.
All right. Lottie says lunch is ready. Come on, let's go eat, huh?
Maybe I ought to keep a lookout.
Well, we can see from inside. That's why I got this house. Besides, nobody but us knows we're here. Right? Come on.
Mr. Felix. Sure is getting kind of dull around here. How much longer we have to wait around this dump?
Until I finish the book. Your nephew likes the city, don't you, Mickey?
Well, that's where the action is. Always something to do.
Well, there's something to do around here. Like watch my back. Let me see you at 38, Mickey.
What?
You were gone almost 3 hours a day. Redmond tried to have me hit. Shouldn't take that long to have a broken firing pin repaired.
Mr. Felix, a gunsmith I'm not. I had to wait around for it.
Of course. Of course. Well, let's eat, huh?
Please, please don't shoot.
Who are you?
Dave Blevins. I own this house. Who are you?
Barnaby Jones. I'm a private investigator.
Private investigator?
I'm sorry if I frightened you. I'm looking for Walter Gideon.
Walter Gideon? The writer? He's been staying here?
I understand from the big drugstore down in the shopping center that he had had some prescriptions and liquor delivered here.
The only one I know by name is Fred Smith, the man who rented this place from me.
That Fred Smith?
No. Hey, so this is Walter Gideon. Wait till I tell the missus.
So you have seen him here?
Oh, sure. I even waved at him friendly-like when he come by my house on one of his walks.
Anyone else beside Fred Smith and Walter Gideon stay here?
Yeah, a woman and 2 other men. They paid 6 months in advance, cash.
Looks like somebody didn't finish their meal.
Yeah. Something funny's going on, all right.
Like what?
Well, all the time they've been here, one of the 2 fellas would be out walking around the place, almost like they was on the lookout for something. Then suddenly, the past 2 days at least, nobody's been here. I mean, it's like they just all up and disappeared.
Chrishrisday. That's it, Betty. What do you think?
Well, I think and I wish that these machines would space on the ribbon the way they do on paper.
Well, that's why pencils were invented.
Redmond, not content with gambling profits from the Samovar Casino, moved on to the entire western region. The key to the takeover was young Vincent Felix. And that's why Vincent was snuffed. It happened on Christmas Day. Redmond. Oh, that has to be Jim Redmond, the mob boss, right?
Uh-huh. And I can't think of anyone who could supply this information other than Vincent's father, Al Felix.
Oh, a book about Albert Felix. Wow, that's dynamite.
Yeah, that's what Walter liked to fool around with. Only one problem. Felix is just about as hard to find as Walter.
Any ideas?
Only one. If you can't find a fox, send a hound in after him.
Which hound did you have in mind?
A fellow named Stan Lewis. I'll see you later.
No, Gideon made this look so easy. It's hard. I know what I want to say, but it comes out wrong.
Gideon was a writer. You're not.
Well, just give me a couple of days. I'll finish it. You'll see.
Getting Redmond. Revenge. That's all that counts with you.
He killed my son.
No, Al. Redmond put a knife in Vincent's heart, yes. But anybody who stays in this lousy business kills himself, no matter how they die.
You talk and nothing comes out.
Yeah. Look at us. You're already practically dead from hating. And me, well, I died a long time ago.
That's not a nice thing to say.
It's there, Al, so I say it.
So how did you die? I gave you too many new cars, furs, jewelry, money.
Al, what's the difference?
Just like a woman, huh? You start something, and then you let me stew without finishing it. What? For 14 years, I've given you everything.
Not everything, Al.
Since Louisa died, it's been just you and me. 14 years. You think getting a piece of paper saying that we're married would make what we had together any better?
It might have. Once. Once when I could have had your child.
Hello, Stan. I wasn't sure you'd come.
You got the word around, Barnaby. You wanted to see me? I'm here.
I'm looking for your old boss. You run into him lately?
You too? Suddenly the word's around that everybody's looking for Al Felix. What's going on?
Probably something to do with this. Seems he's having his biography written.
Holy cow. Al must be off his rocker to be putting out stuff like this.
Any idea where I can get a hold of him?
Why?
I want the writer he's working with, not Felix. It's very important that I contact him, Stan.
Okay, I owe you a favor. I kind of lost touch with Al since I got out of the joint, but Lottie, Al's woman's got a sister here in L.A. Maybe I can find her. She'd know where Lottie is, and that's where Al will be.
A little something for the road?
It's one you can't buy, Barnaby. I'll stay in touch.
Get the phone.
Hello? It's Hastings.
It's about time. Yeah. Oh, that's swell. That's really swell. Felix, I can understand, but not being able to run down Stan Lewis yet. How about a seeing eye dog? You think that would help? Sam. What about Sam? I already told you that after the last fiasco, we can't depend on an inside contact. If it happens, fine. In the meantime, as far as you and Miller are concerned, you're both on your own. You understand?
Boy, Jimmy, your muscles are so tense. Bet your biorhythm's at a real low point.
Biorhythm, huh?
Yeah, it's a rhythm of life. But soon that curve on the chart's gonna go up, 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 and then everything's gonna be all right.
All right, honey, that's enough. Party's over. You better get moving.
Barnaby, this is Stan.
Oh, Stan, you got anything for me?
Yeah. I think I located Lottie's sister. Only she's going under another name, Judy Mason.
Good. Where do I find her?
Somewhere in Torrance. She's working at a bar.
Which bar?
I don't know the name, but I was there once. I could find it for you.
All right, I'll come right over. What's your address?
1818 West Wexler, number 16.
See you in 20 minutes.
Okay. What's this? It's cool, I swear.
He's clean. Save your life. Where's Al Felix?
Al? What do I know about Al? I haven't seen him in years.
Oh! We don't have the time to mess around, Stan. Stan, one last chance. Where's Felix? I don't know. We've blown it. Let's go.
Barnaby?
Hello, Lieutenant.
You know, if I ever get to heaven, I expect you'll already be there checking out the pearly gates for me.
I was supposed to meet him, Stan Lewis, you know him?
Yeah. Used to run with Al Felix. What's your connection?
He was getting a line on somebody I was looking for. Walter Gideon, the writer?
Gideon. He and I go back to the old days when he was a crime reporter. Something happened to him?
He disappeared. His daughter asked me to try to find him.
That's nothing new for Walter.
This time I think he's got himself involved in doing some writing with Al Felix. An expose.
No kidding. Well, if that gets out, it's going to make a lot of heavyweights unhappy, especially Jim Redmond.
I think it's already out. This doesn't look like it was done by amateurs.
I'll check it out from both ends.
Thanks, Lieutenant. I'll keep in touch.
Barnaby Jones' office. May I help you?
Hello, Betty. I want you to check out every bar in Torrance. We're looking for a lady who works in one of them. Name of Judy Mason.
For that which we are about to receive, we... Hey, Lottie, what is this? You said we were ready to eat. You call this eating?
We came up here in a hurry, remember? And you said nobody goes, nobody comes, so?
So what?
So since we're almost out of the groceries we brought, and we can't go out to get any more, this is what you get until you finish your great and wonderful book.
Well, nobody starves at my table.
There's a market a couple of miles away. I'll be back with a bag full of fillets in half an hour.
No.
What?
You stay calm. Let the kid go. You do nothing but bring back the food, you hear?
The shopping list is over there.
All these years I'm with you, Al. Now you treat me like I'm a knife behind your back.
Oh, you got it all wrong, Carl. The kid's still wet behind the ears. The situation the way it is, I need your experience always with me. That's the way it is.
Oh, excuse me. I'm awfully sorry.
What do you have it?
Milk, please.
Milk.
Straight.
Growing boy, huh?
Yeah. Nice place you have here, Judy.
I haven't seen you here before, have I?
I got your name from Stan Lewis.
Lots of people know my name.
Stan is dead. He was murdered last night.
Stan. Who the hell are you?
A friend of his. Actually, I was looking for Al Felix. Stan said that your sister Lottie was with him.
I don't have a sister.
Judy, Stan is dead. Lottie and Felix may be next.
You see that sign? It means what it says. Now, get out.
What'd she say?
Just what I thought she'd say, nothing.
Do you think she really will make that call?
It's the last marble in the bag.
Yes? Lottie, it's me. They've killed Stan.
Oh, my God.
Last night. Somebody's already been here asking questions. I'm scared.
Judy, take it easy. You'll have to get out of town now. Go on up north, and I'll get in touch with you later.
Okay. And you be careful here.
Barnaby.
Follow her. I gotta go back and get the recorder.
Hey, I'm sorry, honey, but I gotta go. Samantha!
Mickey, you can wait another minute until I finish straightening up, can't you?
Will you please come on, Samantha?
And I told you, I don't like Samantha.
Okay, but I gotta go. Listen, I'm gonna get killed if I don't get back pretty soon.
Mickey, you're always rushing. I never see you anymore. A couple of hours. Tuesday, an hour today. Mickey, will you let me go with you, please?
I can't.
What's this all about? You don't tell me anything.
Look, I can't. Not yet. A few more days and I'll fill you in on everything, okay?
You better call me soon.
And you can count on it, Sam.
Following Judy Mason is like following a quarter horse out of the gate. Was she traveling fast?
Where to?
The airport. Last time I saw her, she was on a plane to Seattle. What are you doing?
Well, there's nothing on this tape that tells me much, excepting that Judy called her sister Lottie. Couldn't get Lottie's side of the conversation, but this is pretty interesting.
The telephone tones?
Yeah, I figure that if I match these tones on the tape to the proper numbers, I can get the phone number.
Uh-huh. And with the telephone number, you can also get the address of the phone she called.
Or Walter Gideon. Sound like a match?
Yeah.
7.
7.
Next.
Hold it.
What can I do for you?
I'm here to see Walter, Gideon.
Put up your hands, mister.
Don't get nervous with that thing.
Check him out, Mickey.
Who are you?
Well, I prefer to discuss that with Mr. Felix.
Like hell you will.
Mickey! You better take him in to see Al.
So you're a private detective. Who hired you?
Monica Gideon, Walter's daughter. She's pretty worried about her father.
Yeah. Gideon told me that she worried about him a lot.
Is he here?
No. Jim Redmond sent a couple of his buttons over here to blow me up. I got away and Gideon didn't. He's dead.
It never would have happened if Al didn't want to write that book.
Now, please, Lottie, leave it alone.
Where is his body?
You'll have to ask Redmond.
All right, I will.
Right there.
What are we gonna do with him, Mr. Felix?
Well, Mr. Jones found us easy enough. It stands to reason that Jim Redmond will be able to find us, too. I think we better get out of here first thing in the morning. Carl, get back to the gate. Make yourself comfortable, Mr. Jones.
Miller, take care of the telephone lines. Eddie, you're going back with him. Sam, you better stay here. I don't want anything to happen to you that might spoil our little celebration tonight.
I'll be waiting.
Drink, Mr. Jones?
No, thanks.
How did you find me?
Little detective work, little luck.
It's Redmond. Marty, see what's going on around the back. A flat tire, huh? A half hour with a boot and 2 hours with a flat tire?
Hey, no, Mr. Felix. It wasn't me. It's Jones. It was him. He brought him.
No, Al. It was Mickey. Sorry, kid, I can't cover for you any longer. He changed his shirt when he came back from the grocery. There was lipstick on the collar.
You went to see that girl after what I said. You went to see her again?
No. Samantha wouldn't do this to me.
No. She sold you out, kid. Don't you think I know how it's done?
Eddie, let's go.
How many are there? 4 or 5. I couldn't tell.
Give me my gun.
No.
Give it to me, Felix. You need all the firepower you can get. Hey, Al!
What's the matter? You ready to give up?
All I want is the book, Al. Just give me the book and nobody gets hurt.
You're going to pay for my son's death.
You got 1 minute, Al. 1 minute. Then I'm gonna burn you out.
I tried to call for help and the phone's dead.
Well, you think they're amateurs like Mickey here?
I had my secretary notify the police that I'd found you. They're probably on their way here now.
Well, if they're coming, where are they?
Well, it doesn't make any difference. They won't get here before the minute's up. We have to help ourselves.
How, Mr. Jones?
We have to stall him. One way is to give him the book.
No.
Al, it's no longer just you. There are 5 of us here.
I said no book.
All you got is 10 seconds, Al. 9, 8, 7, 6. Hold it. Take your coat off and pull your pockets out. Okay. That's far enough. Now, who are you?
Well, I guess I'm just a door-to-door salesman who seems to have gotten himself trapped in the middle.
All right. Take the book out of the envelope and show it to me. I said take it out of the envelope and show it to me. Okay, boys. I'll burn them out. He's a blank. What are you trying to... Drop the gun. Drop it!
Now call off your dogs.
Okay, cool it. How long you figure you can stand here before one of them picks you off?
As long as it takes.
I got all day.
I don't think so.
Look, mister, I'll make a deal with you. Good deal.
You had your boys kill a friend of mine. You can tell your deal to the police.
Cuff him and take him in. Jim Redmond and his boy. You got anything to make an arrest stick?
Yeah, inside. Al Felix will give it to you. I thought you'd never get here.
Yeah, well, trying to get through those canyons during the rush hour is murder.
Nothing like the murder we almost had here.
Looks like you got your pockets picked, too.
I see. Well, thank you, Lieutenant. Thank you very much. Felix has agreed to protective custody, and he will testify before the Crime Commission.
That should pretty well take care of Redmond's organization.
Monica, I would say that when it's all over, Redmond and the men who killed your father will spend the rest of their lives in prison.
But that won't bring my father back, will it?
No. No, it won't. But Walter liked to live on the edge. He liked to take chances. That's the way he wanted it. And he did live life to the hilt. That's not a bad epitaph.
Yeah. But there was so much more he wanted to do.
Why don't you do it for him?
Me?
Yes. Walter told me that when you were in school, you used to do some writing and were very good, too.
Yeah. I guess I got sort of scared off by Dad's success.
Your father's typewriter. I thought you might want to have it. Why don't you take it home? Put it to good use.
You know, Monica, there isn't anyone that you really have to live up to except maybe yourself.
Okay. But I know I'll never be as good as he was.
Maybe not.
The evening sun began its slow descent behind the jagged mountains, casting long, amber shadows across the secluded porch of the ranch house. Barnaby Jones, a seasoned investigator with a sharp mind and a quiet elegance, adjusted his collar as the opening titles of a grand story seemed to unfold in the quiet countryside. This was a Quinn Martin production, starring Buddy Ebsen, also starring Lee Merriweather, with guest stars John Marley, Peter Mark Richmond, Elizabeth Allen, Daryl Fetty, and Roy Jensen. Tonight's episode was titled Silent Vendetta. Inside the dimly lit room of the house situated near Route 39-5, two men were deeply engrossed in a conversation that held the weight of a lifetime. Walter Gideon, a dedicated crime reporter turned author, clacked away at his heavy typewriter, capturing the dark secrets of the underworld. Across from him sat Al Felix, an aging man whose face bore the lines of countless regrets and heavy sorrows. "What about the boss of your old gambling operations, Freddie the Horse?" Walter asked without looking up from the keys, his voice steady. Al Felix took a slow breath, his eyes staring into the distance. That was Jim Redman, too. Redman personally killed Freddie with an ice pick. He buried him at the Carpel Off-Ranch, Route 39-5. That is how he took over the Samovar Casino. He kept muscling in until he took over the whole operation. Everything that I spent a lifetime to build, using the Samovar as a power base. Al paused, his voice cracking slightly with an emotion that was deeply human and poignant. He never would have made it so big if he had not killed my son first. When I retired from the Rackers, I left everything to my son. Now he is dead. That is why I want you to write in your book everything just the way I tell you. That way Redman will be dead too. Walter stopped typing and looked at his friend with deep empathy. One more session tomorrow, and we will just about have it ready for the publisher. Gideon, I do not have too many more tomorrows, Al murmured, looking out the window. I have told you everything I know about the mob, and how I... Suddenly, Al froze. His eyes narrowed as he spotted two unfamiliar figures approaching the perimeter of the property, carrying gardening tools. "What is it?" Walter asked, noticing the sudden tension. "Did you ever see those guys before? The gardeners?" Al asked, suspicion clouding his face. Walter looked out. Never paid much attention. "Check them out, please," Al requested, his tone urgent yet controlled. "I will be inside." Walter walked out onto the sunlit driveway, greeting the newcomers with an easy smile. "Afternoon," he said. "Hi," one of the men replied, his posture stiff and unnatural for a simple laborer. "I do not remember seeing you fellas around here before," Walter noted mildly. "Oh, Johnny is sick and he asked us to take the route over today," the man explained quickly. Walter, sensing something amiss, but keeping his composure, nodded. "Tell you what, why don't you just pack it in? We will let it go till Johnny gets back, okay?" "Yeah, all right. Thanks a lot," the fake gardener said, turning away. Walter returned inside, where Al was waiting anxiously. "Well, what about them?" "The regular gardener is sick, so they were taking his place," Walter said, trying to reassure him. Al shook his head, the instincts of a survivor keeping him on edge. "Strange faces around here. My people in town not back yet. I do not like it." "That is what I figured," Walter said with a warm, supportive smile. "So, for your peace of mind, I sent them away. Look, outside of your three friends, nobody knows where to find us. Why don't you relax, have a drink?" "Hey, we made a deal," Al countered, a faint smile breaking through his serious demeanor. "You don't touch liquor till 5 o'clock. Walter chuckled softly, looking at his watch. Somewhere in this world, it has got to be 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, outside the property, the two men disguised as gardeners walked toward their vehicle, their expressions darkening. "You sure there is no one else around here?" one asked. "I am sure," the other replied confidently. "You don't think Sam would put us on a bump staring at anything like this, do you? Hey, there it is, the old book. Good. Okay, let us get out of here."
"Come on."
A sudden confrontation ensued near the edge of the property, far from the house. A figure moved in the shadows. All right. Hey, he is gone. But I hit him twice. Well, he has got to be around here somewhere. Come on. Hold it. Looks like he got out this way. Well, if he did, he is long gone by now. Now he is wounded. You saw it twice. I put 2 slugs into him. Hey, wait a minute. There is no blood. Days later, in the bustling city of Los Angeles, Barnaby Jones sat in his comfortable office, reviewing notes. Across from him sat Monica Gideon, a bright young woman with an anxious look in her eyes. Barnaby smiled warmly at her, his presence providing a grounded sense of security. Your father was kind enough to mention my name in the acknowledgments in his book, Barnaby said gently. I once gave him a little help on investigative procedures. Dad spoke of you often, Mr. Jones, Monica said, her voice filled with pride and worry. Yeah, Walter and I go back a long way, Barnaby reminisced. Then you will help me find him? Well, sure, Monica, if there is any need to, Barnaby replied, maintaining a positive and calming demeanor. I think you ought to know that your father was pretty good at getting himself lost and coming home when he felt like it. I do not think that he has disappeared intentionally. Not this time. I think something has happened to him. Are you sure you are not letting your imagination run away with you? Barnaby asked softly. Monica leaned forward, earnestness written all over her face. The day before yesterday was my birthday, my 21st. Dad made a big deal about taking me out to dinner. He even called me twice during the week to make sure I did not have other plans, and then he did not show up. Not showing up. That came to be your father's middle name, Barnaby said with a slight, understanding smile, trying to lighten the mood. He would not do that to me, Monica insisted, her eyes shining with affection. I am sorry, but Dad would not miss my 21st birthday. He has never missed any of them. One time he flew in from Kenya, another time from Vietnam. Could he be working on a book that perhaps took him out of the country again? Barnaby asked. He is not out of the country. He could not travel without his passport, could he? Monica asked, placing a small document on the desk. Now, take it easy, Monica. How do you happen to have this? I found it in Dad's apartment this morning. His clothes and luggage are still there? Barnaby inquired. The only thing missing is his typewriter, Monica replied. Have you tried the Sandhaven Sanitarium? Barnaby asked. Yes, and every other drunk tank from here to San Francisco. He is not in any of the hospitals. Or the jails either, Monica said, sighing. Do you have any idea what the new book is about? No, I thought about that, too. So I called his agent, and he does not seem to have any idea either. Does he still have the same agent, Proctor? Is that it? Barnaby asked. Yes, Don Proctor. Barnaby stood up and patted her shoulder reassuringly. Why don't you go home and get some rest, and I will let you know the minute I have anything, okay? Okay, Monica replied, feeling a sense of hope restored. In a luxurious penthouse downtown, Jim Redman, the powerful mob boss, was pacing the floor, talking into a telephone. His face was a mask of intense concentration. That is right, Victor. My information was that Al Felix left Arizona about 5 months ago. Been right here in Los Angeles all that time with nobody knowing about it. Yeah. I sent a couple of my boys out to see him. Figured we might arrange to have a friendly meeting, you know. But he gave them the slip. So there is no word of him showing up your way, huh? Well, I am just kind of anxious to straighten things out between us. All right, thanks, Victor. Listen, if you do happen to hear anything, I would appreciate it if you or one of your people gives me a call. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. Redman slammed the phone down and turned to his subordinates, his voice rising in frustration. San Francisco does not know where he is either. We had him right here, and you blew it. Well, like I told you, Mr. Redman, the henchman explained defensively, I could not miss at that range. And besides, Mr. Redman, I mean, what is to worry? You have the book. That is right, Redman said, gesturing toward the manuscript on his desk. Felix wants to publish it. He will have to start from scratch. It will take months. Months, huh? Redman countered sharply. Eddie, give me the book. What do you see? A lot of typing, Eddie replied simply. Look on page 33 of 41. Those are carbon pages. Gideon must have made a carbon when he typed. Well, We did not find one, Eddie noted. That is right, which means that Felix must have it, Redman reasoned, his eyes narrowing. So months we do not have. That book was almost finished. If Felix ever gets that book to a publisher, names, dates, deals, and where the bodies are buried. You understand? Yeah, Eddie muttered, realization dawning upon him. Well, I am glad I finally got your attention, gentleman, Redman said, looking at his team. Because it is not just me. If Felix ever gets that book to a publisher, we all go down. All right, we will put a price on Felix's whereabouts, and somebody has got to know. What about Sam? Eddie suggested. Hey, that is right, Redman agreed. Sam found him the first time, and I will bet you in a couple of days, Sam will tip us again. We can't wait for Sam, Redman declared decisively. The boys in Chicago tell me that Stan Lewis is still around Los Angeles. You remember him? Stan Lewis. Yeah, he and Al Felix were pretty close at one time. That is right, find him. If anyone knows where Felix is holed up now, it will be Lewis. Yes, sir, Eddie said, leaving the room quickly. Meanwhile, Barnaby Jones visited the office of Don Proctor, the literary agent. The office was lined with books, reflecting a peaceful world of intellect and storytelling. No, I am afraid Walter did not let me know what he was working on, Don Proctor said, shaking his head. Just that it was the hottest thing he had ever written and would probably make $1 million. Did he say where he was working? Barnaby asked. No, he said it was too dangerous for anyone to know. Even me, his own agent, Proctor explained. Sounds like he might be working on another of his exposes, Barnaby suggested. Yeah, that is my guess, Proctor agreed. But what? Where? Where brings up an interesting problem, Barnaby mused, pacing the room. It was not his apartment. His typewriter is missing. His landlord said he had not been in there much for the last 4 or 5 months. Yeah, it is a mystery to me, Proctor said, gesturing to a chair. Sit down, please. I could not even find any of his old bills or receipts, Barnaby mentioned. Does he have a business manager that takes care of those things? Yeah, Herb Arnold in our accounting department, Proctor said. What good would his paid-up bills do you? Well, they can tell you a lot about a person, Barnaby explained with a witty twinkle in his eye. Kind of like running across a railroad track in the middle of nowhere. Follow the track one way, you know where the train has been. Follow it the other way, you know where the train is going. I still don't follow, Proctor admitted. Well, he used to drink a certain brand of whiskey, Barnaby chuckled. And then he was always taking medicine for migraine headaches. Now, it could be that he was having these things delivered to him, where he was working. Yes, of course, Proctor realized, smiling. Please go down to Herb's office on the 2nd floor, and I will call him and tell him you are coming. Thanks, Barnaby said, heading out with a purposeful stride. At another hidden safe house, Al Felix and his bodyguard Carl were conversing quietly. The house was comfortable, surrounded by trees, offering a temporary sanctuary. Hey, you are a little jumpy, aren't you, Carl? Al asked, pouring a cup of coffee. Yeah, I guess so, Carl admitted, rubbing his neck. Ever since the other day. It is a good thing you had that bulletproof thing on, or else I would be putting flowers on your grave today. Well, if you had been around, I would not have needed this, huh? Al joked gently. Oh, you know I had to go to the dentist, Carl said, looking apologetic. I feel lousy about it, Al. It is all right, Carl, Al said, tapping his shoulder. By the way, how is the tooth? I gotta go back. It is still killing me, Carl groaned. It almost killed me, too, Al smiled. Look, Al, I feel lousy about it. All right. Now, Lottie says lunch is ready. Come on, let us go eat, huh? Yeah, maybe I ought to keep a lookout, Carl suggested. Oh, we can see from inside. Al reassured him. That is why I got this house. Besides, nobody but us knows we are here. Right? Come on. They walked into the dining room where Lottie, Al's longtime companion, was setting the table. Oh, Mr. Felix, Mickey, Al's young nephew, said as he looked out the window. It sure is getting kind of dull around here. How much longer do we have to wait around this dump? Well, till I finish the book, Al replied firmly. Your nephew likes to sit here, don't you, Mickey? Well, that is where the action is, Mickey said, gesturing out the window. Always something to do. Well, there is something to do around here, Al remarked, his tone shifting slightly. Like, watch my back. Let me see your .38, Mickey. What? Mickey asked, surprised. You were gone almost 3 hours the day Redman tried to have me hit, Al noted, his investigative curiosity piqued. Shouldn't take that long to have a broken firing pin repaired. Mr. Felix, a gunsmith I am not, Mickey defended himself. I had to wait around for it. Of course, Al said softly, though a seed of doubt was planted. Of course. Now let us eat, huh? Please. Hours later, Barnaby Jones arrived at a rustic house following the trail of the pharmaceutical deliveries. As he approached the door, an elderly gentleman opened it, looking startled. Please, please don't shoot, the old man cried out. Who are you? Barnaby asked gently, raising his hands to show peace. Gabe Levins, the man replied, breathing a sigh of relief. I own this house. Who are you? Barnaby Jones, I am a private investigator. Barnaby introduced himself with a comforting smile. Private investigator? I am sorry if I frightened you, Gabe said. I am looking for Walter Gideon, Barnaby explained. Walter Gideon? The writer? He has been staying here? I understand from the big drugstore down in the shopping center that he had had some prescriptions and liquor delivered here. Only one I know. My name is Fred Smith, the man who rented this place from me, Gabe said, pointing to a photograph on the table. Is that Fred Smith? No, Barnaby said, recognizing the face. Hey, so this is Walter Gideon. Where do I tell the missus? So you have seen him here? Barnaby asked. Oh, sure, Gabe confirmed. I even waved at him friendly-like when he come by my house on one of his walks. Anyone else besides Fred Smith and Walter Gideon stay here? Yeah, a woman and 2 other men. They paid 6 months in advance, cash, Gabe said, leading Barnaby into the kitchen. Looks like somebody didn't finish their meal. Yeah, something funny is going on, all right, Barnaby observed, looking at the abandoned table. Like what? Gabe asked. Well, all the time they have been here, one of the 2 fellas would be out walking around the place, almost like they was on the lookout for something, Barnaby deduced. Then suddenly, the past 2 days at least, nobody has been here. I mean, it is like they just all up and disappeared. Back at Barnaby's office, his capable assistant Betty was analyzing a piece of carbon ribbon under a magnifying glass. Barnaby walked in, and Betty looked up with an excited expression. When seeth chara stmsday, Betty spelled out. That is it, Betty. What do you think? Well, I think and I wish that these machines would space on the ribbon the way they do on paper, Betty remarked humorously. Well, that is why pencils were invented, Barnaby smiled. Reading the text, Redman, not content with gambling profits from the Samovar casino, moved on to the entire western region. The key to the takeover was young Vincent Felix. And that is why Vincent was snuffed. It happened on Christmas Day. Now, Redman, well, that has to be Jim Redman, the mob boss, right? Betty agreed. And I can't think of anyone who could supply this information other than Vincent's father, Al Felix. A book about Albert Felix. Wow, that is dynamite, Betty said. Yeah, that is what Walter liked to fool around with, Barnaby mused. Only one problem. Felix is just about as hard to find as Walter. Any ideas? Only one, Betty offered. If you can't find a fox, send a hound in after him. Which hound did you have in mind? Barnaby asked. Fellow named Stan Lewis, Betty suggested. I will see you later, Barnaby said, tipping his hat and heading out. In their new hiding place, Al Felix was attempting to type on Walter's typewriter, his fingers clumsy on the keys. Lottie stood nearby, watching him with a mixture of affection and concern. You know, Gideon made this look so easy, Al frustratedly muttered. It is hard, I know what I want to say, but it comes out wrong. Gideon was a writer. You are not, Lottie said gently, placing a hand on his shoulder. Well, just give me a couple of days, I will finish it, you will see, Al insisted. Getting Redman, revenge, that is all that counts with you, Lottie sighed. He killed my son. No, Al, Lottie said, her voice filled with deep human wisdom. Redman put a knife in Vincent's heart. Yes, but anybody who stays in this lousy business kills himself, no matter how they die. You talk and nothing comes out. Yeah, look at us. You are already practically dead from hating. And me, well, I died a long time ago. That is not a nice thing to say, Al murmured. It is there, Al. So I say it, Lottie replied, her eyes reflecting years of shared history. So how did you die? Al asked softly. I gave you too many new cars, furs, jewelry, money. Al, what is the difference? Lottie said. You are just like a woman, huh? Al said with a gentle, appreciative smile. You start something and then you let me stew without finishing it. What? For 14 years, I have given you everything. Not everything, Al, Lottie whispered. Since Louisa died, it has been just you and me. 14 years. You think getting a piece of paper saying that we are married would make what we had together any better? It might have, Al admitted quietly. Once, Lottie agreed. Once when I could have had your child. Later that evening, Barnaby met Stan Lewis in a quiet, secluded corner of a local park. The air was cool, and the city lights twinkled in the background. Hello, Stan. I wasn't sure you would come, Barnaby said. You got the word around, Barnaby. You wanted to see me? I am here, Stan replied, leaning against a bench. I am looking for your old boss. You run into him lately? You too? Stan asked, surprised. Suddenly the word is around that everybody is looking for Al Felix. What is going on? Probably something to do with this, Barnaby said, showing a copy of the typed ribbon text. Seems he is having his biography written. Holy cow, Stan gasped. Al must be off his rocker to be putting out stuff like this. Any idea where I can get a hold of him? Barnaby asked. Why? I want the writer he is working with, not Felix, Barnaby explained earnestly. It is very important that I contact him, Stan. Okay, I owe you a favor, Stan nodded. I kind of lost touch with Al since I got out of the joint, but Lottie, Al's woman, has got a sister here in Los Angeles. Maybe I can find her. She would know where Lottie is, and that is where Al will be. A little something for the road? It is one you can't buy, Barnaby smiled. I will stay in touch. Meanwhile, Jem Redman was growing increasingly impatient in his office, talking to Eddie. Tasting. It is about time. Oh, that is swell. That is really swell. Felix, I can understand, but not being able to run down Stan Lewis yet. How about a seeing-eye dog? You think that would help? Sam, what about Sam? Eddie asked. I already told you that after the last fiasco, we can't depend on an inside contact, Redman snapped. If it happens, fine. In the meantime, as far as you and Miller are concerned, you are both on your own, you understand? A young woman named Samantha entered the room, smiling playfully at Redman. Boy, Jimmy, your muscles are so tense, she said, rubbing his shoulders. Bet your biorhythm is at a real low point. It is the rhythm of life, Redman muttered, relaxing slightly. But soon, that curve on the chart is going to go up, 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 and then everything is going to be all right. All right, honey, that is enough, Redman said, patting her hand. Party's over. You better get moving. Back at his office, Barnaby's phone rang. He picked it up immediately. Barnaby, this is Stan, the voice on the other end said. Oh, Stan, you got anything for me? Yes, Stan said. I think I located Lottie's sister. Only she is gone under another name, Judy Mason. Good. Where do I find her? Barnaby asked. Somewhere in Torrance. She is working at a bar, Stan replied. Which bar? I do not know the name, but I was there once. I could find it for you, Stan offered. All right, I will come right over. What's your address? 1818 West Wexler, number 60. See you in 20 minutes, Stan said. Okay, Barnaby concluded, hanging up. However, danger moved swiftly. Before Barnaby could arrive, two of Redman's men confronted Stan in his apartment. What is this? Stan gasped. It is cool, not cool, I swear. He is clean. Save your life. Where is Al Felix? Al? What do I know about Al? I haven't seen him in years, Stan pleaded. We don't have the time to mess around, Stan, the henchman growled. Stan, one last chance. Where is Felix? I do not know, Stan whispered. We have blown it. Let us go, the other henchman said as they left quickly. When Barnaby arrived, the local police were already on the scene, led by a familiar lieutenant. Barnaby walked up, his expression serious yet calm. Barnaby? The lieutenant called out. Hello, Lieutenant, Barnaby greeted him. You know, if I ever get to heaven, I expect you will already be there checking out the pearly gates for me. I was supposed to meet him. Stan Lewis, you know him? Yeah, he used to run with Al Felix, the lieutenant confirmed. What is your connection? He was getting a line on somebody I was looking for, Barnaby explained. Walter Gideon, the writer? Gideon, the lieutenant mused. He and I go back to the old days when he was a crime reporter. Something happened to him? He disappeared, Barnaby said. His daughter asked me to try to find him. That is nothing new for Walter, the lieutenant noted. This time I think he has got himself involved in doing some writing with Al Felix and exposed, Barnaby said. No kidding, the lieutenant remarked. Well, if that gets out, it is going to make a lot of heavyweights unhappy, especially Jim Redman. I think it is already out, Barnaby said, looking around the room. This does not look like it was done by amateurs. I will check it out from both ends. Thanks, Lieutenant. I will keep in touch. Barnaby returned to his office, where Betty was busy making phone calls. Barnaby Jones' office. May I help you? She said into the receiver. Barnaby walked in. Hello, Betty. I want you to check out every bar in Torrance. We're looking for a lady who works in one of them. Name of Judy Mason. At the safe house, Lottie was serving a modest meal of soup and bread to Al. For that which we are about to receive, Al started, then looked at the bowl. Hey, Lottie. What is this? You said we are ready to eat. You call this eating? We came up here in a hurry, remember? Lottie reminded him gently. And you said nobody goes, nobody comes, so. So what? Al asked. So since we are almost out of the groceries we brought, and we can't go out to get any more, this is what you get until you finish your great and wonderful book, Lottie explained. Well, nobody starves at my table, Al declared proudly. There is a market a couple of miles away. I will be back with a bag full of fillets in half an hour. No, Lottie stopped him. What? Al asked. You stay, Carl, Lottie instructed the bodyguard. Let the kid go. You do nothing but bring back the food, you hear? The shopping list is over there. Carl looked at Al, feeling slighted. All these years I am with you, Al. Now you treat me like I am a knife behind your back. No, you got it all wrong, Carl, Al reassured him warmly. The kid is still wet behind the ears. The situation, the way it is, I need your experience always with me. That is the way it is. Meanwhile, Barnaby had located the bar in Torrance where Judy Mason worked. He sat at the counter, ordering a simple beverage. Oh, excuse me, he said as Judy approached. I am awfully sorry. What are you having? Milk, please, Barnaby requested. Milk? Straight? Judy asked, amused. Growing boy, huh? Yeah. Barnaby smiled warmly. Nice place you have here, Judy. I haven't seen you here before, have I? I got your name from Stan Lewis. Lots of people know my name, Judy said, her tone becoming guarded. Stan is dead, Barnaby said softly, his voice full of genuine sorrow. He was murdered last night. Stan? Judy gasped, freezing. Who the hell are you? A friend of his, Barnaby said reassuringly. Actually, I was looking for Al Felix. Stan said that your sister Lottie was with him. I don't have a sister, Judy denied quickly, turning away. Judy, Stan is dead. Lottie and Felix may be next, Barnaby warned gently. Judy pointed to a sign on the wall. You see that sign? It means what it says. Now, get out. Barnaby stood up and walked over to where Betty was waiting nearby. What did she say? Betty asked. Just what I thought she would say. Nothing, Barnaby replied calmly. Do you think she really will make that call? Betty inquired. It is the last marble in the bag, Barnaby smiled. Inside the bar, a frightened Judy dialed a number on a payphone. Yes. Lottie, it is me. They have killed Stan. Oh, my God, Lottie gasped over the line. Last night, Judy said, her voice trembling. Somebody has already been here asking questions. I am scared. Judy, take it easy, Lottie comforted her. You will have to get out of town now. Go on up north, and I will get in touch with you later. Okay. And you be careful here. In another part of town, Mickey was meeting Samantha in a quiet park. Barnaby. Hey, I am sorry, honey, but I gotta go, Mickey said, checking his watch. Samantha? Mickey, you can wait another minute until I finish straightening up, can't you? She asked, smiling beautifully. Will you please come on, Samantha? Mickey pleaded. And I told you I don't like Samantha. Okay, but I gotta go, Mickey insisted. Listen, I am gonna get killed if I don't get back to you soon. Mickey, you are always rushing, Samantha complained gently. I never see you anymore. A couple of hours Tuesday, an hour today. Mickey, will you let me go with you, please? I can't, Mickey said.
What's this all about?
You don't tell me anything, she said, looking disappointed. Look, I can't. Not yet, Mickey promised, kissing her cheek. A few more days, and I will fill you in on everything, okay? You better call me soon. Hey, you can count on it, Sam, Mickey smiled, jogging away. Barnaby and Betty were reviewing their progress back at the office. Following Judy Mason is like following a quarter horse out of the gate, Betty remarked. Was she traveling fast? Where to? Barnaby asked. The airport, Betty reported. Last time I saw her, she was on a plane to Seattle. What are you doing? Well, there is nothing on this tape that tells me much, Barnaby said, adjusting a tape recorder, accepting that Judy called her sister Lottie. Couldn't get Lottie's side of the conversation, but this is pretty interesting. The telephone tones? Betty asked, leaning in. Yeah, I figure that if I match these tones on the tape to the proper numbers, I can get the phone number, Barnaby explained with professional pride.
Uh-huh.
And with the telephone number, you can also get the address of the phone she called.
Walter Gyan.
Sound like a match.
Yeah, 7.
Next. The next morning, Barnaby arrived at the beautiful, remote estate where Al Felix was hiding. He walked up to the front door, knock echoed through the quiet air. The door opened swiftly, and Carl stood there, a firm expression on his face. What can I do for you? Carl asked coldly. I am here to see Walter Gyan, Barnaby stated calmly. Put up your hands, mister, Carl ordered, revealing a defensive posture. Don't get nervous for that thing. Check him out, Vicky. Who are you? Well, I prefer to discuss that with Mr. Felix, Barnaby replied smoothly. Like hell you will, Carl said. Vicky, you better take him in to see. They walked Barnaby into the spacious living room where Al Felix and Lottie were waiting. So, you are a private detective. Who hired you? Al asked, studying Barnaby. Monica Gyan, Walter's daughter, Barnaby answered. She is pretty worried about her father.
Yeah, I'll nodded slowly.
Gyan told me that she worried about him a lot. Is he here? Barnaby asked. No, Al said, his voice dropping with deep sadness. Jim Redman sent a couple of his buttons over here to blow me up. I got away, and Gyan didn't.
He is dead.
It never would have happened if Al did not want to write that book, Lottie added, tears forming in her eyes. Oh, please, Lottie, leave it alone. Where is his body? Barnaby asked softly. You'll have to ask Redman, Al said grimly. All right, I will, Barnaby resolved. Right there. What are we going to do with him, Mr. Felix?
Carl asked.
Well, Mr. Jones found us easy enough, Al reasoned. It stands to reason that Jim Redman will be able to find us too. I think we better get out of here first thing in the morning. Carl, get back to the gate. Make yourself comfortable, Mr. Jones. Miller, take care of the telephone lines. Eddie, you go on back with them. Sam, you better stay here. I don't want anything to happen to you that might spoil our little celebration tonight. I will be waiting. Drink, Mr. Jones? Lottie offered. No, thanks, Barnaby declined politely.
How did you find me?
Al asked. Little detective work, little luck, Barnaby smiled modestly. Suddenly, a loud commotion was heard outside. It is Redman, Carl shouted, running inside. Lottie, see what is going on around the back. Mickey ran in, looking disheveled. Yeah, a flat tire, huh? Al confronted him. A half hour for the food and 2 hours for a flat tire? Hey, no, Mr. Felix, Mickey cried out. It wasn't me. It was Jones. It was him. He brought him. No, Al, Lottie said, looking at Mickey with disappointment. It was Mickey. Sorry, kid. I can't cover for you any longer. He changed his shirt when he came back from a grocery. There was lipstick on the collar. You went to see that girl after what I said. You wouldn't see her again?
No.
Samantha wouldn't do this to me, Mickey protested, heartbroken.
No,
Al said gently. She sold you out, kid. Don't you think I know how it is done? Eddie, let us go. How many are there? 4 or 5, Carl reported. I couldn't tell. Give me my gun. No, Barnaby stepped in, his voice commanding respect. Give it to me, Felix. You need all the firepower you can get. Outside, Jim Redman's voice echoed through a megaphone.
Hey, Al.
What's the matter? You ready to give up? All I want is the book, Al. Just give me the book and nobody gets hurt. You're gonna pay for my son's death. Al shouted back with profound emotion. You got 1 minute, Al. 1 minute, Redman called out. Then I'm gonna burn you out. Lottie tried the phone. I try to call for help, and the phone is dead. Well, you think there are amateurs like Mickey here? Al noted. Barnaby smiled confidently. I had my secretary notify the police that I had found you. They are probably on their way here now. Well, if they're coming, where are they? Carl asked anxiously. Well, it doesn't make any difference, Barnaby said, his wit shining through the tension. They won't get here before the minute is up. We have to help ourselves. How, Mr. Jones? Lottie asked. We have to stall them, Barnaby instructed. One way is to give them the book.
No.
Al refused vehemently. Al, it is no longer just you, Lottie pleaded. There are 5 of us here. I said no book. Al stood firm. All you got is 10 seconds. Al, Redman's voice boomed. 9, 8, 7, 6. Hold it, Barnaby said, taking a deep breath. He took a blank manuscript envelope from the desk, walked out the front door, and raised his hands. Take your coat off and pull your pockets out, Redman's guard ordered. Okay, that is far enough.
Now, who are you?
I guess I am just a door-to-door salesman who seems to have gotten himself trapped in the middle, Barnaby joked lightly, keeping his cool. All right, Redman said, walking forward. Take the book out of the envelope and show it to me. I said, take it out of the envelope and show it to me. Barnaby pulled out the pages, showing they were completely unwritten. Okay, boys, Redman realized, his eyes widening. I will burn him out. He is a blank. What are you trying to?
Drop it. Drop it.
A powerful voice called out from the trees. The police had arrived, surrounding the perimeter perfectly. Now call off your dogs, the lieutenant commanded. Okay, call it. Redman looked at Barnaby, astonished. How long do you figure you can stay in here before them? One of them picks you off. Long as it takes, Barnaby smiled, his eyes gleaming with justice.
I got all day.
I don't think so, Redman muttered as the officers handcuffed him. Look, mister, I will make a deal with you.
Good deal.
You had your boys kill a friend of mine, Barnaby said, his tone serious and full of moral clarity. You can tell your deal to the police. Come on, take him in. The lieutenant walked up to Barnaby as Jim Redman and his boys were led away. Jim Redman and his boy. You got anything to make an arrest stick? Yeah, inside, Barnaby replied, pointing to the house. Al Felix will give it to you. Al Felix walked out, shaking the lieutenant's hand. I thought you would never get here. Yeah, well, trying to get through those canyons during the rush hour is murder, the lieutenant smiled. Nothing like the murder we almost had here, Barnaby added lightheartedly. It is like you got your pockets picked too. Oh, thank you, Lieutenant. Thank you very much. The resolution brought a sense of peace and new beginnings. Felix had agreed to protective custody and would testify before the Crime Commission, ensuring the complete dismantling of Redman's organization. A few days later, Barnaby stood with Monica Gideon in his office, handing her a sturdy, classic typewriter. Monica, I would say that when it is all over, Redman and the men who killed your father will spend the rest of their lives in prison, Barnaby said gently. But that won't bring my father back, will it? Monica said softly, a tear rolling down her cheek. No. Barnaby validated her feelings authentically. No, it won't. But Walter liked to live on the edge. He liked to take chances. That is the way he wanted it. And he did live life to the hilt. That is not a bad epitaph. Yeah, Monica agreed, looking at the typewriter. But there was so much more he wanted to do. Why don't you do it for him? Barnaby suggested with an inspiring smile.
Me?
Yes, Barnaby encouraged her. Walter told me that when you were in school, you used to do some writing. You were very good, too. Yeah, Monica reminisced. I guess I got sort of scared off by Dad's success. Your father's typewriter, Barnaby said, placing her hands on it. I thought you might want to have it. Why don't you take it home? Put it to good use. You know, Monica, there isn't anyone that you really have to live up to, except maybe yourself. Okay? Monica smiled, feeling a surge of positive emotion. But I know I will never be as good as he was. Maybe not, Barnaby concluded with a warm, supportive laugh. The idea is to try. The story ended on a note of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of a daughter's love and legacy. The evening sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, amber shadows across the quiet expanse of the countryside. It was the kind of peaceful afternoon that made one forget the bustling noise of the city, a perfect setting for a story to unfold. Inside a secluded house, two men were deeply engrossed in a project that felt more critical with each passing second. Walter Gyan, a seasoned crime reporter turned author, leaned over his trusty typewriter, the rhythmic clacking of the keys filling the room with a sense of urgent purpose. Across from him sat Albert Felix, a man whose lined face told a story of a lifetime spent in the shadows of the gambling underworld. They were working on something massive, an exposé that could change everything. Albert sighed deeply, running a hand over his face as he remembered the boss of his old gambling operations, a notorious figure known to everyone as Freddie the Horse. Walter looked up from his notes, his pen poised, asking for clarification on whether Jim Redman was the one who had personally taken care of Freddie. Albert nodded grimly, confirming that Redman had indeed done it with an ice pick before burying him at the Carpel Off Ranch near Route 39-5. That brutal act had been the catalyst, the exact way Redman managed to muscle his way in and take over the Samovar Casino, eventually swallowing the whole operation that Albert had spent a lifetime building. Redman used the Samovar as a power base, growing larger and more dangerous by the day, a rise that Albert knew would never have been so massive if Redman hadn't killed his son Vincent first. When Albert had retired from the Rackers, he left everything to his boy, and now that Vincent was gone, his only remaining goal was to see justice served through the power of the written word. That was the sole reason he wanted Walter to write everything down in the book exactly the way he told it, believing that once the truth was out, Redman's empire would be finished. Walter adjusted his glasses, noting that one more session tomorrow would just about have the manuscript ready for the publisher. Albert looked out the window, his voice turning soft and contemplative as he admitted he did not have too many more tomorrows left, having shared everything he knew about the mob. Suddenly, a strange look crossed Albert's face, causing Walter to ask what was wrong and if he had seen the men outside before. Albert squinted at the two figures working near the edge of the property, noting they looked like gardeners, but that he had never paid much attention to them before. Feeling a sudden wave of unease, Albert asked Walter to check them out while he went inside to rest. Walter walked out into the warm afternoon air, offering a casual greeting to the two men who were busy with the landscaping. He mentioned that he did not remember seeing them around the area before, to which one of the men replied that the regular gardener, Johnny, was sick and had asked them to take over the route for the day. Sensing something unusual in their demeanor, Walter suggested they just pack it in for the day and let it go until Johnny returned. The men agreed readily, thanking him before turning to leave. When Walter returned inside, Albert anxiously asked about them. Walter explained the situation about Johnny being sick, but Albert remained deeply skeptical, noting that strange faces around the property and his own people not being back from town yet made him highly uncomfortable. Walter reassured his friend, explaining that for his peace of mind, he had already sent them away. He reminded Albert that outside of their three trusted friends, absolutely nobody knew where to find them. He encouraged the old man to relax and perhaps enjoy a refreshing drink, but Albert, ever a man of discipline, reminded him of their firm agreement not to touch liquor until 5 o'clock. Walter offered a small, witty smile, joking that somewhere in this wide world, it simply had to be 5 o'clock already. Meanwhile, a short distance away, the two imposter gardeners were watching the house intently. One of them turned to his partner, asking if he was absolutely sure there was no one else around the property. The other confidently replied that he was certain, adding that Sam would never put them on a high-stakes assignment like this without accurate information. Peering through a window, they spotted the prize they were looking for, the old manuscript book lying on the desk. With a nod, they decided it was time to move in and get out of there as quickly as possible. The intrusion was sudden and chaotic. Shots echoed through the quiet house as the men attempted to ambush the occupants. In the ensuing scramble, one of the attackers called out to his partner, realizing their target had managed to slip away despite being hit twice. They searched the immediate area, tracking the escape route toward the back exit. One of the men pointed out that the target looked to have escaped this way, meaning he was likely long gone and wounded. His partner was astonished, insisting he had placed 2 slugs directly into him at close range, yet as they looked down at the floor, they were baffled to find absolutely no trace of blood left behind. Back in the city, at the comfortable office of the veteran private investigator Barnaby Jones, a young woman named Monica Gideon sat anxiously. Barnaby smiled warmly at her, remembering how her father Walter had been kind enough to mention his name in the acknowledgments of his previous book, a nod to the time Barnaby had given him a little professional help on investigative procedures. Monica smiled back, stating her dad spoke of him often and asking if he would help her find him. Barnaby, with his usual calm and reassuring demeanor, agreed to help if there was a genuine need, though he gently reminded Monica that her father was famously good at getting himself lost in his work and coming home whenever he felt like it. He suggested that Walter might not have disappeared intentionally this time either, but Monica's expression remained deeply serious. She explained that the day before yesterday had been her 21st birthday, a milestone her father had made a massive deal about, even calling her twice during the week to ensure she had no other plans. Yet he never showed up. Barnaby conceded that failing to show up had practically become her father's middle name over the years, but Monica fiercely defended him, stating he would never do that to her on such an important occasion, noting he had never missed any of her birthdays. Once even flying in all the way from Kenya and another time from Vietnam just to be there. Barnaby stroked his chin thoughtfully, wondering aloud if Walter could be engrossed in a new book project that had perhaps taken him out of the country once again. Monica firmly rejected the idea, pulling an object from her bag and explaining he could not possibly travel without his passport, which she had found in his apartment that morning along with all his clothes and luggage, meaning the only thing missing was his typewriter. Barnaby nodded, asking if she had tried checking the Sandhaven Sanitarium or any of the other usual places where her father might go to dry out after a long writing binge. Monica confirmed she had checked every single one from there to San Francisco, as well as the local hospitals and jails, finding absolutely nothing. When asked if she knew what the new book was about, Monica admitted she had no idea, which had led her to call his literary agent, who also seemed completely in the dark. Barnaby verified if he still had the same agent, Don Proctor, and upon receiving a positive response, he kindly advised Monica to go home and get some well-deserved rest, promising to let her know the absolute minute he uncovered any information. In another part of town, within a sleek, heavily guarded office, the powerful mob boss Jim Redman was engaged in a tense telephone conversation. He spoke into the receiver, confirming his information that Al Felix had left Arizona about 5 months ago and had been hiding right here in Los Angeles the entire time without anyone knowing. Redman explained to his associate, Victor, that he had sent a couple of his boys out to see Felix, figuring they might arrange a friendly meeting to straighten things out between them, but Felix had somehow given them the slip. Hearing that there was no word of Felix showing up on Victor's end either, Redman expressed his anxiety to settle their scores, thanked him, and requested a call if anyone heard anything before hanging up. Turning to his henchman, Redman's calm facade dropped, replaced by cold fury as he pointed out that even San Francisco had no idea where the man was. He barked at his man, Eddie, reminding him they had Felix right in their sights and blew it. Eddie defended himself, claiming he couldn't possibly miss at that range and questioned why they were worrying so much since they had successfully managed to steal the book anyway. Redman sneered, demanding Eddie hand over the manuscript. He told Eddie to look closely at page 33 of 41, pointing out that those were carbon pages, meaning the writer must have made a carbon copy while typing. Since they did not find the copy at the scene, It meant Felix must still have it, destroying their illusion of having months to spare. Redman emphasized that the book was almost finished, and if Felix ever managed to get that copy to a publisher, it would expose names, dates, illicit deals, and exactly where all the bodies were buried. Eddie's face paled as he finally understood the gravity of the situation. Redman took a deep breath, glad to finally have their full attention, stating that if that book ever saw the light of day, they would all go down together. He ordered his men to put a hefty price on Felix's whereabouts, confident someone would talk. One of the henchmen suggested asking Sam, noting Sam had found him the first time and would likely tip them off again within a couple of days. Redman countered that they could not afford to wait for Sam, remembering that the boys in Chicago mentioned an old associate named Stan Lewis was still around Los Angeles. Remembering that Stan and Al Felix were incredibly close at one time, Redman ordered his men to find Lewis immediately, certain he would know where Felix was holed up. Meanwhile, Barnaby Jones began his investigation by paying a visit to the literary agent, Don Proctor. Proctor confirmed that Walter had not let him know what he was working on, only boasting that it was the hottest thing he had ever written and would probably make $1 million. When Barnaby asked if Walter had mentioned his working location, Proctor revealed that Walter claimed it was far too dangerous for anyone to know, even his own agent, which led them both to assume it was another one of his famous, high-risk exposés. The big question remained where he was doing this writing, since it clearly wasn't his apartment. Barnaby noted that Walter's typewriter was missing, and the landlord reported he hadn't been around much for the past 4 or 5 months. Proctor admitted the whole situation was a complete mystery to him, inviting Barnaby to sit down. Barnaby inquired about old bills or receipts, wondering if Walter had a business manager who handled his finances. Proctor directed him to Herb Arnold in the accounting department on the 2nd floor, though he questioned what good paid-up bills could possibly do for the search. Barnaby smiled, explaining that financial records can tell you a great deal about a person's movements, comparing it to running across a railroad track in the middle of nowhere. If you follow it one way, you know where the train has been, and if you follow it the other way, you know exactly where it is going. He detailed that Walter used to drink a very specific brand of whiskey and frequently took specialized medicine for migraine headaches, suggesting he might have been having these items delivered directly to his secret workspace. Appreciating the brilliant logic, Proctor promised to call Herb immediately to let him know Barnaby was on his way down. Across town, in a secure and comfortable safe house, Al Felix was resting while his loyal associate, Carl, tended to him. Carl remarked that Al seemed a bit jumpy, admitting he had been feeling the same way ever since the shootout a few days prior. Carl noted it was an incredibly good thing Al had been wearing his bulletproof vest, or else he would be putting flowers on his grave today. Al offered a dry chuckle, pointing out that if Carl had been around at the time instead of going to the dentist, he wouldn't have needed the vest in the first place. Carl expressed how terrible he felt about the timing, explaining that his tooth was still killing him and he had to go back to the dentist soon. Al gently reassured his old friend that it was all right, just as Lottie, Al's devoted companion, called out that lunch was ready. Carl suggested he should perhaps keep a lookout outside, but Al noted they had a perfect view of the property from inside, which was the exact reason he had chosen this specific house, adding confidently that nobody but the two of them knew they were there. Joining them at the table was Lottie and her young nephew, Mickey. Lottie sighed, mentioning that it was getting rather dull around the safe house and asking how much longer they would have to wait around the stump. Al replied that they just needed to wait until he finished writing the book. He noticed Mickey staring out the window and remarked that the young man seemed to enjoy sitting there because that was where all the action was. Al then asked Mickey to show him his .38 pistol, noting that Mickey had been gone for almost 3 hours on the very day Redman tried to have him hit, a task that shouldn't take nearly that long just to have a broken firing pin repaired by a gunsmith. Mickey grew slightly defensive, explaining he wasn't a professional gunsmith himself and simply had to wait around the shop for the repairs to be completed. Al accepted the explanation with a nod, encouraging everyone to finally sit down and enjoy their meal. Back on the trail, Barnaby Jones followed a lead from the drugstore deliveries to a suburban home. As he entered the property to investigate, he was suddenly confronted by an older gentleman holding a defensive stance. Barnaby quickly put his hands up, calmly asking the man not to get nervous with that weapon. The man, trembling slightly, identified himself as Gabe Levins, the owner of the house, and demanded to know who Barnaby was. Introduce himself as a private investigator, Barnaby apologized for causing a fright and explained he was looking for the writer Walter Gideon, who he understood had been staying there under an assumed name based on pharmacy and liquor delivery records. Gabe looked surprised, stating the only name he knew was Fred Smith, the man who had rented the place from him using cash. Barnaby showed him a photograph, asking if the man in the picture was Fred Smith, to which Gabe exclaimed that the photo was actually of Walter Gideon, confirming he had indeed seen him around the property and had even waved at him in a friendly manner during his daily walks. Gabe further revealed that a woman and 2 other men were staying there as well, having paid 6 months of rent in advance using cash. Barnaby walked into the kitchen, noticing a table with plates of food left untouched, concluding that something highly unusual was going on. Gabe agreed, noting that during their entire stay, one of the men would always be outside walking the perimeter like a lookout, but for the past 2 days, the place had been completely deserted, as if they had all suddenly up and disappeared. Back at Barnaby's office, his brilliant assistant, Betty, was busy analyzing a carbon ribbon from a typewriter that Barnaby had recovered. She carefully deciphered the impressions left on the ribbon, spelling out the words letter by letter, revealing a significant date: on Christmas Day. Barnaby complimented her excellent work, and Betty expressed her wish that these typewriter machines would space the characters on the ribbon as clearly as they do on paper, though Barnaby joked that was precisely the reason pencils were invented. Reading the transcribed text, Barnaby noted that Redman, not content with the gambling profits from the Samovar Casino, had moved on to take over the entire western region, and the absolute key to his hostile takeover was a young man named Vincent Felix, which explained why Vincent was tragically snuffed out on Christmas Day. Betty connected the dots, realizing that the powerful mob boss Jim Redman must be the main antagonist of the story, and Barnaby agreed, adding that the only person capable of supplying such intimate insider information was Vincent's grieving father, Albert Felix. Betty was amazed, realizing a biographical exposé about Albert Felix was pure dynamite. Barnaby agreed that this was exactly the kind of dangerous material Walter loved to investigate, though they faced the massive problem that Felix was currently just as difficult to locate as Walter. When Betty asked if he had any ideas, Barnaby smiled and stated that if you cannot find a elusive fox, you must send a skilled hound in after him, identifying his chosen hound as an old acquaintance named Stan Lewis. In an effort to locate Felix, Barnaby arranged a discreet meeting with Stan Lewis at a quiet spot. Stan arrived, noting that word travels fast when Barnaby Jones is looking for someone. Barnaby explained he was searching for Stan's old boss and asked if he had run into him lately. Stan was surprised, noting that suddenly everyone in town seemed to be searching for Al Felix. Barnaby showed him a portion of the transcribed text, explaining that Felix was currently having his biography written. Stan read it, astonished that Al would be bold enough to publish such sensitive information. Barnaby emphasized that he was looking for the writer working with Felix, not Felix himself, and that it was vitally important to establish contact. Stan, acknowledging an old favor he owed Barnaby, admitted he had lost touch with Al since getting out of prison, but remembered that Lottie, Al's companion, had a sister living in Los Angeles who went by the name of Judy Mason. Stan figured if he could locate Judy at the bar where she worked in Torrance, she would know where Lottie was, which would lead them straight to Al. He promised to stay in touch and left to track down the lead. Unfortunately, the mob was also closing in. Jim Redman sat in his office, completely losing his patience with his henchmen. He barked that while he could understand Felix being difficult to find, their inability to run down Stan Lewis was completely unacceptable, sarcastically asking if a seeing-eye dog would help them do their jobs better. When Eddie suggested relying on their inside contact, Sam, Redman shut down the idea, stating that after their last fiasco, they could no longer depend on an inside source. He ordered Eddie and Miller to find Lewis on their own. Nearby, Eddie's girlfriend, a young woman named Samantha, was playfully trying to massage his tense shoulders, murmuring about his biorhythms being at a low point. Eddie gently pushed her away, stating the party was over and he had to get moving to take care of business. A short time later, Stan Lewis called Barnaby with an update, revealing he had successfully located Lottie's sister, Judy Mason, working at a bar somewhere in Torrance. He gave Barnaby his address at 1818 West Wexler, apartment number 60, telling him to meet there in 20 minutes. However, before Barnaby could arrive, Redman's henchmen ambushed Stan in his apartment. They pinned him down, demanding to know the whereabouts of Al Felix. Stan courageously refused to talk, insisting he hadn't seen Felix in years. Realizing Stan wouldn't break, the henchmen callously decided their time was being wasted and left just as Barnaby arrived to find his friend fatally wounded. The police arrived shortly after, led by a familiar lieutenant who jokingly remarked that if he ever made it to heaven, he expected Barnaby would already be there checking out the pulley gates for him. Barnaby explained he was supposed to meet Stan, who was helping him get a line on Walter Gideon. The lieutenant was familiar with Walter from his days as a crime reporter and asked what had happened. Barnaby shared his theory that Walter had disappeared while writing a dangerous exposé with Al Felix, a project that would make many powerful figures, especially Jim Redman, incredibly unhappy. Looking around the crime scene, the lieutenant noted the hit did not look like the work of amateurs, promising to investigate from both ends while Barnaby promised to keep in touch. Returning to his mission, Barnaby called Betty, instructing her to check every single bar in Torrance to pinpoint the exact location of Judy Mason. Meanwhile, back at the safe house, tension was running high. Lottie served a simple meal, prompting Al to complain about the quality of the food. Lottie reminded him that they had moved there in an immense hurry, and since he had strictly ordered that nobody goes out and nobody comes in, they were almost completely out of the groceries they brought. Al, insisting that nobody starves at his table, announced he would drive to a market a couple of miles away to pick up some fine steaks. Carl volunteered to go instead, but Al firmly commanded Carl to stay, choosing to send young Mickey instead, instructing him to do nothing but bring back the food from the shopping list. Lottie felt hurt by Al's sudden lack of trust, but Al reassured Carl privately, explaining that Mickey was still young and inexperienced, whereas he needed Carl's veteran experience by his side at all times. Barnaby's investigation quickly led him to the Torrance bar where Judy Mason was working as a bartender. He sat at the counter, calmly ordering a glass of straight milk. Mickey happened to be there as well, enjoying a quick drink before heading back with the groceries. Barnaby struck up a conversation with Judy, mentioning he had received her name from Stan Lewis. Judy put on a tough exterior, stating lots of people knew her name, but her face dropped when Barnaby softly informed her that Stan had been murdered the previous night. Barnaby explained he was a friend of Stan's and was looking for Al Felix because Lottie might be in grave danger next. Judy tried to deny having a sister and ordered Barnaby to get out, but Barnaby's warning stayed with her. As soon as Barnaby stepped outside, Judy anxiously placed a phone call to Lottie, crying out that Stan had been killed and that someone had already been at the bar asking questions. Lottie, shocked and terrified, told Judy to take it easy, advising her to get out of town immediately and head north to Seattle, promising to get in touch later. Barnaby, who had cleverly anticipated the move, was outside watching. He noticed Mickey leaving the area in a hurry as well. Mickey met up with Samantha, who was frustrated that he was always rushing and never spending time with her anymore. Mickey pleaded with her, explaining he could get into serious trouble if he didn't return to the safe house immediately. Samantha begged to go with him, but Mickey refused, promising to fill her in on everything in a few days before rushing off, unaware that his movements were being closely monitored. Barnaby returned to his office to coordinate with Betty. He explained that following Judy Mason was like tracking a fast horse out of the gate, noting she had already boarded a plane to Seattle. He focused his attention on a tape recording of the telephone tones from Judy's call. He explained to Betty that if he could match the audio frequencies of the telephone tones on the tape to the proper numbers, he could decipher the exact phone number she had dialed, which would give them the physical address of the secret safe house. With a bit of patience and technical skill, Barnaby successfully matched the tones, uncovering the address where Walter Gideon was being held. Barnaby wasted no time driving out to the remote location. As he approached the safe house, he was suddenly intercepted by Carl and Mickey, who held him at gunpoint. Barnaby remained perfectly cool, advising them not to get nervous with their weapons. They escorted him inside to meet Al Felix. Barnaby introduced himself as a private investigator hired by Monica Gyan, who was deeply worried about her father. Al sighed, stating Walter had mentioned how much his daughter worried about him, but then delivered the crushing news that Jim Redman's men had attacked their previous location. Al had managed to escape, but Walter did not make it. Lottie openly wept, lamenting that none of this would have happened if Al hadn't insisted on writing that book. Barnaby, keeping his composure, asked where Walter's body was, and Al replied he would have to ask Redman himself. Realizing their location was compromised because Barnaby had found them so easily, Al announced they would have to pack up and leave first thing in the morning. He ordered Carl back to the gate, Miller to cut the telephone lines to prevent any tracking, and Eddie to secure the perimeter. He invited Barnaby to make himself comfortable, offering a drink which Barnaby politely declined. Suddenly, the sound of approaching vehicles shattered the silence. Carl rushed in, announcing that Redman had arrived. Al confronted Mickey, pointing out that a simple trip for food shouldn't have taken over 2 hours, accusing him of bringing Barnaby and the mob straight to their doorstep. Carl stepped forward, revealing he could no longer cover for the kid, pointing out that Mickey had changed his shirt upon returning and had lipstick on his collar, proving he had gone to see Samantha against strict orders. Al realized Samantha had sold Mickey out to the mob. Outside, Jim Redman's voice boomed through a megaphone, giving Al 1 minute to hand over the manuscript book, promising that nobody else would get hurt, but threatening to burn the house down if they refused. Al yelled back fiercely, declaring that Redman would pay for his son's death. Inside, Lottie tried to use the phone, only to find the lines completely dead. Barnaby turned to the group, explaining that his secretary had already notified the police of their location before he arrived, meaning help was on the way, though they needed to stall for time until the authorities could navigate the heavy canyon traffic. Barnaby suggested using a clever ruse to fool the mob, using a blank stack of paper inside an envelope to mimic the manuscript. Al initially refused to give up the book, but Barnaby reminded him there were 5 innocent lives inside the house to consider. Yielding to the plan, Barnaby stepped outside the front door, holding his coat open and pulling his pockets out to show he was unarmed. Redman's henchmen ordered him to stop, demanding to know who he was. Barnaby humorously replied he was just a door-to-door salesman who had gotten himself trapped in the middle of a bad situation. The henchmen ordered him to take the book out of the envelope to prove it was the real deal. As the henchman stepped closer to inspect the papers, he realized with shock that the pages were completely blank. In that split second of distraction, Barnaby moved with incredible agility, disarming the lead henchman and turning the weapon against Redman, ordering him to call off his dogs. The arrival of the police sirens filled the air as the lieutenant and his officers flooded the property, successfully arresting Jim Redman and his entire organization. The lieutenant thanked Barnaby warmly, noting that navigating the canyons during rush hour was absolute murder, though Barnaby quipped it was nothing compared to the actual murder they had just prevented. Al Felix officially agreed to place the manuscript into protective custody and testify before the crime commission, ensuring that Redman and his men would spend the rest of their lives behind bars. A few days later, back at the quiet office, Barnaby sat with Monica Gyan. He gently explained that while the arrest wouldn't bring her wonderful father back, Walter had always loved living life on the edge and taking big chances, living his life completely to the hilt, which was a truly beautiful epitaph for a great writer. Monica smiled through her tears, noting there was still so much more he wanted to achieve. Barnaby smiled warmly, presenting her with her father's beloved typewriter, encouraging her to take it home and put it to good use, reminding her of her own incredible talent during her school days. Monica felt a bit hesitant, worrying she might never be as good as her legendary father, but Barnaby offered a final, inspiring word of wisdom, stating that there isn't anyone in this world she truly has to live up to except for herself, and that the beautiful idea of life is simply to try.